Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Haley Wilkes. Thank you for joining us tonight. A local man is recovering in the hospital after an alligator attack.
Scott Lahodik was hired to dive for golf balls in a pond at Rotunda Golf and Country Club. While diving, Lahodik was bit on the left arm by an alligator. After a struggle, he was able to break free and get to safety. In fact, he drove himself to the clubhouse and then called 911. Just a short time ago, that gator was removed from the lake. Florida Fish and Wildlife hired a nuisance animal removal company to trap the gator. They were able to get the 10-foot gator into the back of their truck alive, but that may not be the only gator in the water there. Fish and Wildlife officers will work to confirm they trapped the right alligator.
We'll talk to the complainant, the guy who got attacked, and then we'll ask him how big it was and, kind of match it up that way.
That gator that was removed will likely be euthanized. Following November's election, President Trump created a voter fraud panel asking for voter information from each state. Tonight, we're learning that Florida has agreed to turn over some of that information to the panel, but not all of it. The president formed the panel after claims that voter fraud cost him the popular vote. The panel is requesting everything from a voter's name, address, birth date, political affiliation, criminal records, military service status, and partial Social Security number. It's a request that nearly every state has denied in one way or another. On Thursday, Florida joined that list. In a letter, Secretary of State Ken Detzner said that driver's license information and Social Security numbers cannot be released under Florida law, but says much of the information requested is already public.
Florida voter records are public records under Florida law. So the only thing that are not public in those voter records are your driver license number, your Social Security number, and your signature.
And it's still not clear what the panel plans to use all of that voter information for.
More discussion about a massive housing and retail development in Parrish. This project was first talked about back in 2009. 3,300 homes, 400,000 square feet of retail space, and 50,000 square feet of office space would sit on more than 1,100 acres of land. This proposed development between Moccasin Wallow Road and Erie Road could go in front of the Manatee County Planning Commission as early as next month. It's something that's getting mixed reaction from people who live nearby.
We're all for it, I think, at least my wife and I are, but the biggest thing is infrastructure. They've got to do something with these roads. They're just too narrow.
I'm not really that happy. I wish they would improve our roads, make them 4 lanes, and maybe give us a stoplight to get out, because eventually we'll have a hard time getting out of our subdivision.
Florida Land Management of Brandon is the developer behind this proposed project. Neither that developer or the county could be reached for a comment.
Well, it's the first Friday in July. That means Music on Main is happening tonight in Lakewood Ranch.
And we're lucky that we do not have those evening thunderstorms, at least not in that area, Bob, so you guys lucked out.
Yeah, things are lucky so far, and I'll tell you what, Haley, we are seeing a shower. It keeps trying to develop right here, and then it gets pushed eastward, which is good. We have a nice west wind, and as long as that happens, it'll keep everything east of this particular location for the next hour or so. At least we got it started right now. Ari and the Alibis are playing their first set right now, and they're sounding pretty good. They got a little jazz there. We got a little trumpet going on, nice drums as well. And the folks here are kind of sitting back in the shade and having a good time, too. How you guys doing? Having a good time? All right, that's what it's all about. Friday, right here, Music on Main. Well, let's go to the maps to show you what's happening as far as that rain goes. We are seeing some showers again. They're scattered, they're very isolated. Typically this time of year, it's loaded up with storms, but not right now. Things are fairly quiet, although you see that one cell starting to pop up east of I-75 near Lakewood Ranch. As I said, we'll keep an eye on that for you. It doesn't take long for lightning to generate, but so far have not heard any thunder coming from that particular cell. Well, much more in our forecast, obviously coming up in a little bit later. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Bob. There may not be as many children on Main Street tonight for Music on Main, where Bob is. A little less than usual due to a new policy now being enforced geared toward children and young teens. Anyone under the age of 16 has to be accompanied by an adult after 6 p.m. Officials say the rule had to be implemented because of minors fighting and causing other problems, including being disrespectful to visitors, businesses, and even damaging property. Part of that damage they may be referencing is this: a fire started at the Starbucks there located on Main Street. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office says a group of teens were hanging around the coffee shop when they started to set things on fire with a cigarette lighter. Those 3 juveniles have been charged with arson. Coming up tonight at 11, ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick went out to Music on Main to speak with local businesses on whether this policy has affected their business.
A regional campus of Southeastern University in Bradenton is expanding. Right now, Southeastern University at Bayside Community Church operates out of church classrooms during the week. Students in need of housing are staying with members of the church, but with 140 students attending the school next year, administrators expect to soon begin plans for their own campus along with student housing.
We're building young people to be leaders for the next generation, as well as we're developing pastors and church leaders right now with the graduate program of a Master's of Divinity. So we have to have space, and we have to find those people who have a heart for that. And to some degree, we have met some, and they are making an effort to commit to these students.
Bayside College, as it's called, is an accredited school with a focus on ministry education. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, a lot of activity in airports across the country, where Florida ranks against the rest of the nation.
And what better way to help native marine life fight off an invasive species than with a little competition? How local fishermen are getting involved.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to save a life? Find out by donating platelets at Suncoast Blood Bank.
I'm Haley Wilgus, ABC 7. Platelets aid in the clotting process
and are vital in the treatment of cancer and surgical patients, trauma victims, and critically ill newborns. It's tough to keep enough on the shelves because they only last 5 days.
To donate, call this number or visit scbb.org and you can help save a life.
ABC 7 congratulates Suncoast Blood Bank on 65 years of serving our community.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
There is a danger lurking in Suncoast waters.
The invasive lionfish has been taking over area reefs and feeding grounds, but as ABC 7's Bobeth Yates shows us tonight, efforts are underway to control the lionfish population.
From lionfish to lion dish, the invasive species has taken over many Suncoast waterways. But Mote Marine Laboratories' Lionfish Derby hopes to help control their population.
These fish are so invasive, their reproductive system, they can produce over 2 million eggs a year.
The females can reproduce within 4 days again, so they are just swarming our reefs and eating all our bait fish.
Lionfish were once only seen in the Indian Ocean, but now the invasive species has taken over portions of the Caribbean and the Atlantic, including waterways right here on the Suncoast. But Mote Marine Laboratory hopes to change that.
So the benefit is to remove as many lionfish as possible. An event in one day is going to have multiple divers targeting lionfish and removing them from different areas.
But the removal aspect can be tricky because lionfish are venomous.
Lionfish possess up to 18 venomous spines. The pain is excruciating. There's no known deaths from it, but you'd want to die. That's how bad the pain is.
Al Hodge says that's why spearfishing is the best approach to catch lionfish. There's also a lot of tools like the zookeeper to help contain the fish after it's caught. But regardless of the danger, Mote Marine Program Manager James Lacasio says the benefits of the derby far outweigh the threat from the fish.
The three-tiered approach to the derbies is removal of lionfish, awareness, and education about the invasion.
And part of that awareness is to show the fish are not only catchable, but also edible.
It is so delicious. It's very similar to snapper. The meat is just super white, almost translucent if you hold it up to the light. Hogfish, which is a species that a lot of Florida and Caribbean people really enjoy. I think that's probably the best comparison.
The Lionfish Derby runs through the weekend, and Mote officials are encouraging people to get involved regardless of when, because it would help control the lionfish population. Bobeth Yates, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Bobeth. Bob will be back from Music on Main in Lakewood Ranch right after this.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-747-0618. 800-747-0618.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
I'm Cindy Lou. I'm Susie. I'm Missy. And I'm Betty Jean. And we're the Marvelous Wonderettes. Mr. Sandman.
Experience the best girl group songs from the 50s and 60s live on stage at the Players Center July 12th through the 23rd. Call 941-365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. You'll fall in love with the Marvelous Wonderettes.
I'm so alone.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
For the last decade, SNS Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Music on Main in full swing right now in Lakewood Ranch.
ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan is joining us live with more on tonight's weather and the weekend weather, Bob.
Music's playing. It's playing right now, Haley and Scott, the music. This is Ari and the Alibis. And Ari, although didn't say much in the interview, has a lot to say when she gets behind that mic and starts cranking out the tunes right there, as you hear. They are a great band, been sticking around for 4 years now together. And Linda, I believe, interviewed John Walker on the drums, and we saw him yesterday playing some great music here. They play a little soul, a little jazz. We got the trumpet up there moving along. We also have actually a trombone. I thought I saw a trumpet there earlier. But nonetheless, people are gathered. The weather looks good right now. We have these showers that try to pop up, but no success, and that's good for here, a successful run for Music Again on Main, the first Friday here in July. And people are enjoying it. Here's a look at the Lakewood Ranch webcam review showing us generally partly cloudy skies throughout the day. You'll start to see a storm or two pop up off in the distance, but then it goes away. So you couldn't ask for better weather tonight, considering here we are in the middle of storm season. Well, the storm that we were watching, Tropical Depression 4, never had a chance, really. It never graduated to tropical storm status. But the remnants will move in that direction, as you see right there. So it has been downgraded now to just an open wave, basically, the remnants of what was for. It could add into the moisture availability by Thursday and Friday of next week. For us, we're looking at limited activity. Showers and thunderstorms have been mainly inland today. You can see that activity in eastern portions of Sarasota, Manatee. They're around not that long. We'll have to keep an eye on that one, though, in eastern portions of Sarasota County. It could generate some outflow that may generate a storm here closer to the coast. But you see those storms trying to get going right there and spoil things here at Lakewood Ranch and Music on Main, and then they move on. But that one near Mayaca City may be a little different, but people are still coming out here. Pretty good crowd considering we're out of season. People enjoying the free concert here, just kind of walking around and having a little bit of soda here and there. And satellite radar imagery showing fair skies here, 89 degrees, and sunshine. The dew point is at 72, and that relative humidity at 57%, which isn't bad. We have a west wind at 9, and the pressure 30.07 inches. And the high today was right at the average, and so was the low, 90 and 75. And 166, the record high and record low for this day. Temperatures are warm all over as a result of lack of rain. In the upper 80s to near 90 at the coast. The wind flow will turn around to the southeast overnight, and then we'll see a little west coast sea breeze tomorrow afternoon. I think a better chance for some more widespread afternoon and evening storms over the weekend. We'll call for that. We'll bring it up to 40%. On, again, for inland areas, a little higher. But generally, near the beaches, upper 80s expected for high temperatures. Now, the Futurecast is showing fair skies overnight, and then showers and a few storms developing in the afternoon. Looks like similar conditions on Sunday. And as we move through time, all the way through next week, we'll have to keep an eye on the remnants of what was Tropical Depression 4. There's a chance it could bring us a little bit better chance for rain later next week. There's not a lot going on across the U.S. except for the heat out west, southwest United States, 115 in Phoenix. It's 81 in Toronto, 80 in Detroit, and 80 in Cleveland. That's where the cooler weather resides. New St. Louis at 95. For boaters, southeast winds turn to the west at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be 2 feet or less. Mostly smooth out there for boaters, and the water temperature now at 92 degrees. Again, that's about as hot as it gets. Low tide, 7:59. High tide will be at 2:29, and sunset at 8:29. Sunrise will be at 6:42 tomorrow. And the forecast looks like this for tonight. We'll see isolated thunder shower possible, mainly inland, 77 for your low, which is a little bit above average. And then tomorrow, a better chance for some coastal showers and storms around. As we move through time tomorrow, look for afternoon showers and storms in the mix. The rain chance, 40% tomorrow, bouncing up a little bit to 50% on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And then maybe a little dry air slipping in before that moisture moves in from the tropics. We'll have much more coming up at 7 11 o'clock, we got Ari and the Alibis playing a little nice classic jazz right there. More on that coming up a little bit later. Back to you guys.
All right, Bob, thanks so much. Mote Marine Lab is getting the word out about a sea turtle that may be in trouble. Mote posting its Facebook page these pictures. Well, we thought we had those. Turtle tracks. Mote says by the look of the tracks, a sea turtle crawled onto the beach on Longboat Key to nest and got entangled in a beach chair. The turtle and long chair are now gone, and Mote scientists fear the turtle may have dragged the chair back into the Gulf. Now, Mote Marine reminds people who live and stay at the beach to remove furniture at night. And if you see that sea turtle in distress, you saw the phone number there. Mote Strandings Investigation Program, it's 988-0212. Scientists are asking if you come across a turtle still caught up in that chair, call them. We'll be right back with more news.
Tonight, the showdown with Vladimir Putin, President Trump on the world stage, the high-stakes G20 underway, police and protesters clashing in the streets as the White House faces a crucial diplomatic test. World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get 1 more free. Call today.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get Debt-Free Now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make 1 monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
Florida Governor Rick Scott announcing the state has officially beat out Texas to rank second in the nation in the number of airline passengers.
Florida airports see millions of visitors to the state each year, and over the last 6 years, more than $1 billion in state funding has been invested in our airports. Now, California currently holds the top spot for the highest passenger volume in the nation, which is expected. It's a big state, big economy, and a lot of big cities there.
Right, and we have so many tourists coming in to fly in here, so you've probably noticed that the lines at airports have been getting a little bit longer.
Yep, absolutely. World News Tonight with David Muir is coming up next.
We'll see you tonight at 11. Have a great evening.
This is an ABC 7 editorial with Steve Sabato.
On May 11th, President Trump signed an executive order creating an advisory commission to collect information and investigate voter registration and fraud. This made good on a promise he made when he claimed millions of illegal votes were cast in the 2016 election. Amazingly, he also said not a single one was for him. With all due respect to the office of the president, this claim is simply not true. There is no evidence of widespread voter fraud, a fact supported by hard data, state election commissioners, even lawyers who represented the then president-elect during recounts. Ditto in Florida, Sarasota, and Manatee counties. No proof of fraud. On June 28th, a letter was sent to every Secretary of State in the nation requesting an unprecedented amount of personal and voting information. By way of constitutional background, states, not the federal government, are responsible for supervising both voter registration and the integrity of the elections. Our founding fathers wisely recognized it's a lot harder to fix an election that is controlled by many independent states with elected leaders than one run by a centralized branch of the federal government. Reaction to the letter has been swift and strong. Many states have refused outright, and most, like Florida, will only partially comply. So what's the bottom line? You're going to be seeing a lot of smoke coming out of Washington, stating they are only asking for information that is already legally available to the public. Do not be fooled. While technically true, this is a diversion. The real issues are it violates our privacy, it undermines states' rights, and it will discourage minority voter turnout. Efforts to protect the integrity of our elections should be focused on Russian and Chinese cyber attacks, not well-intentioned senior citizens who forgot they registered in more than one state, or legal immigrants who came to America seeking freedom from dictators who control the ballot boxes and punish people who don't vote for them. I'm Steve Sabato, and we'd like to hear from you.
The opinions expressed in this editorial do not necessarily reflect those of ABC7's owners or management. If you would like to comment, go to our website, www.mysuncoast.com, and click Community.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at CaliforniaClosets.com.
Every week on Animal Outtakes, it's a new adventure. From meeting curious lemurs to feeding big cats and hosing down rhinos, there's never a dull moment. And sometimes these amazing animals chime in. Tune in to Animal Outtakes to find out what they have to say. Watch Animal Outtakes every week on ABC7.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Tonight on ABC7 News at 7.
We urge Russia to cease its destabilizing activities in Ukraine and elsewhere, and its support for hostile regimes, including Syria and Iran.
President Trump calling on Russia to align itself with the West, but what will he say when he meets Putin? I'm Alan Cohen. We'll have political analysis of the G20 summit.
Tonight on ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. We asked you, Suncoast, why do you like ABC7?
I like ABC7 because it's local. It gives me all the local news.
The local news, local weather.
It's so local and so community-driven.
Kelly Wilgus does a great job.
John Scalzi, that's my guy.
Bob Harrigan is wonderful. Stephanie's my favorite.
I like Scott Dennis.
I like them all.
We're all very grateful that you cover what you do and you're here to participate with the community.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at CaliforniaClosets.com.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.